Logging into LinkedIn today feels like accidentally walking into a stranger's messy divorce proceedings while holding a briefcase. You go in, just to update a resume or check a job listing, you get ambushed by a CEO's crying selfie. Or maybe a deeply personal family tragedy twisted into a hollow business lesson about B2B sales. Users write these massive sentimental epics. They break them down into endless single sentence paragraphs. Every single thought gets its own line break. Hitting the return key twice after every sentence creates a giant wall of white space dominating your whole phone screen. The platform rewards this formatting. It forces you to keep scrolling, which artificially inflates dwell time metrics for the creator. The original purpose of professional networking feels entirely buried under this bizarre performance art. Reading a modern feed is basically an exercise in enduring forced emotional.
Anish Raman, LinkedIn's Chief Economic Opportunity Officer, explicitly categorizes the site as a platform of professionals. He went on record with The Times in May, stating the site functions best as a place for learning and growing. He firmly rejects the idea that weepy confessionals belong on a career networking space.
You go there to get a job. The platform is not a therapy couch.
The leadership directive involves bringing your professional self to the platform to find value. The executives running the company maintain that the core utility of the network remains focused entirely on economic advancement and skill acquisition. They view the influx of extreme personal vulnerability as a complete aberration. The developers built the infrastructure for something else entirely.
Users perform this emotional incontinence out of pure desperation. We have a highly crowded job market. Everyone is screaming for visibility. I think people feel forced to strip mine their personal lives just to get an eyeball on their profile. Births and funerals become fodder for hustle culture slop generated by artificial intelligence.
They trade their dignity for impressions in an attention economy.
Thousands of qualified candidates apply for the exact same remote project management role. Basic credentials no longer guarantee you even a passing glance from a recruiter. The algorithm historically rewarded high engagement. Nothing drives engagement quite like a train wreck.
Professional competence bores the audience.
A spectacular public breakdown generates thousands of comments and shares. They game the system by turning themselves into reality television characters.
Reviewing the 2022 case of Braden Wallach exposes the peak of this performative vulnerability. The Ohio-based marketing agency CEO laid off 2 employees. His immediate response involves snapping a tear-stained selfie and posting a lengthy tribute to his own emotional suffering.
He made the loss of his employees' actual livelihoods entirely about his personal distress.
He literally wrote, "This will be the most vulnerable thing I'll ever share." He claimed he wished he was a cold-hearted business owner who only cared about money. His primary stated goal centered on showing the public that corporate leaders possess human feelings when severing staff.
He wanted applause for his empathy while simultaneously cutting off the paychecks of the people working under him.
The cognitive dissonance was staggering.
Rigging up a camera to document your own tears requires a massive amount of ego. You fire 2 people who now have to worry about paying rent or finding health insurance. Your immediate instinct is performing a public humiliation ritual for engagement.
You have to actively find the right lighting and ensure the tears are visible on your cheek.
Writing a 1,000-word caption comes next, followed by hitting publish. The backlash hit him immediately. A user did some deep digging on Wallach's digital footprint. They discovered he had recently adopted a sea otter.
Wait, a sea otter? Like an actual marine mammal?
An actual sea otter. They publicly questioned the financial wisdom of taking on a marine mammal during a recession right before laying off staff. Adopting a sea otter while your company bleeds money destroys the entire facade of the suffering leader.
He eventually apologized and claimed his intention was never victimizing himself. His company now ironically sells services designed to get conversations started with your ideal target audience on LinkedIn. He monetized the infamy of his own public relations disaster.
Oh, wow. You monetize your own public meltdown.
Career coach Hannah Salton evaluates these attention-seeking emotional displays as actively harmful to a professional reputation. She argues that trying to manufacture pity backfires spectacularly on a platform designed for business networking.
Users post this weepy content in a bid to stand out to potential employers.
Sultan points out the core flaw in this specific strategy. The content comes across as highly artificial. It achieves the exact opposite of its intended goal. She asks users to question their underlying motives before posting anything deeply personal.
Hitting publish on a professional platform damages your career prospects if the main aim is making people feel sorry for you.
Hiring managers look for reliability and emotional regulation. Broadcasting a severe lack of emotional regulation signals to the market that you are a liability. Professional trust requires consistency. Erratic emotional dumping destroys that trust instantly.
If everyone fakes vulnerability to hack the algorithm, how do you actually show you are a human being? People desperately want to escape the stiffness of corporate speak. Being authentic feels mandatory. Showing there is a real person behind the remote Zoom background becomes the primary goal.
They just do not know where to draw the boundary line.
Building a personal brand by acting like a faceless corporate drone fails. Turning your feed into a digital therapy session destroys your sustainable career. The line between being relatable and being radioactive feels entirely invisible to the average user trying to navigate this space.
Workplace culture strategist Mary Baird provides a specific metric for this dilemma. She distinguishes between a scar and an open wound. A scar represents a processed past event.
Sharing a scar provides genuine value because the healing is done.
You can speak about a failed startup from 5 years ago with authentic emotion without performing a breakdown. The audience learns from the process failure. An open wound represents a current, highly emotional crisis.
Baird warns that switching on your video during an active meltdown risks defining your digital footprint for years.
A temporary emotional spike creates a permanent label like the crying CEO. The internet preserves these impulsive decisions forever. A shared scar offers a valuable lesson. An open wound demands forced emotional labor from your professional network. You force your colleagues and potential employers into the highly uncomfortable position of managing your active crisis in a public forum.
We have a massive algorithmic irony happening right now. Humans have public breakdowns to appease the algorithm. The underlying machine has already shifted its focus entirely to artificial intelligence.
Humans bleed on the timeline for visibility. The visibility metrics have fundamentally changed beneath their feet.
Users are playing a game that no longer exists. They manufacture these intense, crying, selfie moments to game a human empathy algorithm that the developers quietly dismantled in the background. The entire ecosystem runs on outdated assumptions about what the computer actually wants to see.
The Social Media Today report from June 2026 details how LinkedIn is now one of the most highly cited sources for AI chatbots. LinkedIn consultant Brooke Weller found the platform actively structures its content to feed these automated systems.
Answer engine optimization and generative engine optimization dominate online visibility strategies.
Content creators must align their approaches with how AI chatbots crawl the web for answers. LinkedIn credits its recent backend success to structuring site architecture to align perfectly with how AI systems seek relevant information.
Weller shared specific structural tips improving chatbot performance.
Creators need to use clear headings and highly factual data structures. AI systems scrape this platform because it historically contained high-quality, verified professional histories. The machines require direct questions followed by immediate, factual answers. They do not comprehend narrative arcs or emotional vulnerability.
Trying to get noticed online used to feel like shouting over a crowd in a busy room. You just had to be the loudest. Doing answer engine optimization feels like meticulously filling out tax forms for a robot auditor who holds your career in its metal hands.
The human audience is gone. You are strictly organizing data for a machine.
You strip out all the personality and all the humanity just to ensure a web crawler can easily categorize your skills into a server bank. The platform trained users for a decade to be as loud and dramatic as possible.
Now, it silently penalizes them for doing exactly what it taught them to do.
Users still shout in the crowded room. The room is empty. The microphones only record binary code.
AI chatbots crawling the web for answers care nothing about a tearful selfie or a sea otter. These automated systems require structured, logical, perfectly planned content. The platform architecture demands semantic clarity.
The humans on the platform act like malfunctioning robots pouring out erratic emotions. The actual robots just want clean data.
Optimizing for AI discovery dictates the entire future of brand presence on the network. Structural tips from consultants focus exclusively on improving chatbot parsing efficiency. They ignore triggering human empathy entirely.
A recruiter prompts an AI to find a project manager with specific credentials.
The AI searches for bulleted lists of relevant software proficiencies. It bypasses the 1,000-word essays about overcoming personal adversity. The emotional labor is entirely invisible to the generative engine optimization process.
We have a strange duality defining the platform today. A front-end circus of forced emotional labor sits layered over a back-end engine quietly feeding sterile data to generative AI.
Users cry into their webcams while the servers optimize for generative engine optimization.
The entire feed looks like a group therapy session. The underlying machinery functions like a massive, cold-blooded filing cabinet. If AI is indexing all of our professional data right now to answer the queries of tomorrow, will the chatbots of the future judge you on your actual skills, or will your permanent digital footprint just be an endless loop of your most embarrassing performative internet breakdowns? Delete your drafts.